Okay, our next assignment is subtracting two numbers. Now here you are, you're in the fundamentals unit in section 3.03, and this is on page 7. So this assignment tells you that you're to use the basic program from the previous page and write a similar program to subtract two numbers using visualbasic.net. Okay, so we're subtracting two numbers. The page before showed us how to add two numbers. So here's the code. You made a sub, called it main. You established two variables. You declared A and B as integers. Then you gave A a value and B a value. Then you declared a new variable C, and you gave C as the sum of A and B. And then here, System Console, write line C. What are you doing? You're reporting back to the user what the result is. Then you end the sub, and then you end the module. Of course, these are done automatically for you within the program, but some of you do not have Visual Basic yet. You bring up NotePad or Word if you'd rather use Word, and pretty much you'd copy it. You want to put in, well, this would be normally added by the system, but since you don't have a system to add it, you just type it in. You tab in about 4 times and put in your sub, and then you have your main method. Then you come in about 10 times and you declare your first couple variables. And you're going to have them be integers, whole numbers. Next, you're going to give A the value of 5 or whatever you want. And you're going to have B be 10 or whatever value you want. Then you're going to declare a third variable, what's left over when you subtract A from B. Then you do your problem. Then you print out the result. So you're going to have to call the system program. We're in console. You're just going to have it write the line and whatever the result is. Now, obviously, you can't run it if you've got this written in NotePad. But the good thing about writing it in NotePad is that you can, when you do get your Visual Studio software, you can copy it right into the Visual Studio right from NotePad, and there's no underlying formatting that's going to mess it up. So you would just file, save as, and you would call this Subtraction or something like that. So I'll put on my desktop, and I'll just call it Subtraction. And that'll be sufficient if you don't have your Visual Basic Studio. But if you do have your Visual Basic Studio, what do? Okay, to get to Visual Studio 12, you click on the Microsoft button, you go to All Programs, then you find Visual Studio 2010, 2012, 2013, whatever you installed. And then you just click it open. So when your program pops up, what you do is you click New Project. So what you're making is a console application. So click Console Application. Make sure it's Visual Basic. You want to check this up here. Let this alone. Let it be Console Application 1. Click OK. So as you can see, it already provides for you the first part of our assignment, Module 1, Submain and Submodule. So what you're going to do is after Submain, click Enter. So you want to dim. You're going to dim A and B. So you're going to go A. A is going to be your variable. And B is going to be a variable. Then you're going to put as your keyword as what? As integers. You can't just have a variable sit empty. You have to give it some kind of value. So I'm going to have start off with A equals 10. And I'm going to have B equals 5. You can put whatever number you want there. So next I'm going to have C equals something, so I've got to declare C. So I'm going to declare C as an integer. Once again, it takes a dim statement, C as integer. You just start typing it and it'll bring it up. Double click it. Next is your formula, correct? So your formula is what do you want to put in C? You want to put in C A minus B. So I'm going to put in here C. I have to put some kind of value in there. So I'm going to put my formula right there is equal to A minus B. So now that I've got that in there, I want the results displayed. So I'm going to have I'm going to do a write line. So I come over here. So write line is in systems. So I got to write systems. And this is a console project. So I got to put .console. Now I'm going to put in my command, which is write line. See right there it is, write line. What do I want it to write? Only thing I have to have it write is the answer, which is C. So I'm going to put C inside the parentheses. So if your program ran and there is no error code, then you're done and you can submit this. Okay? So that's how you do it in Visual Basic, and there's your first Visual Basic project.